What went wrong with OnePlus, the brand that was once a darling of the Android world, now on the brink of irrelevance? Let's dive in and find out. We don't need to tell you that back in the day, a brand like OnePlus truly felt like a breath of fresh air, offering the best hardware, clean software, and a community that was the backbone of it all. The innovative invite system built hype, it added intrigue, it created a cool club that only the most in the know people were part of. You, the buyer, were chosen, and that was unlike anything we'd seen from a smartphone maker before. The most vocal enthusiast fans helped build the brand from basically zero, although this image was cleverly cultivated given that OnePlus was originally backed by Chinese conglomerate BBK from its inception. I think this has created a bit of a strange situation, as while it's great to have this grassroots style following, it doesn't always translate to major market share shifts. Instead, with such a small, vocal group of fans, you can run into problems with scaling without alienating your existing customer base. Not to diminish the enthusiast space, it is very small compared to the undoubted riches of the average buyer, and that is where maybe OnePlus made mistakes in the early phases that effectively prepped for an inevitable downfall. A market disruptor needs to keep disrupting or risk having someone else steal the thunder. That's not to say the buyers are wrong, no, it was building a brand on the backs of the people who care most about the true intricacies of the devices that they are buying. In recent years, the enthusiast market we once knew has diminished drastically. Fewer phones that offer the best of everything are not viable when aimed at a shrinking market sector. This problem has worsened as in the early days of Android, there were not as many people using smartphones, now they are ubiquitous. One of the biggest issues that OnePlus has faced from the get-go has been breaking into the established pack of buyer options. The initial invite system created hype, but locked people off from just buying on a whim. It was an intentional purchase spurred on by initial interest, research, or maybe even word-of-mouth recommendations. Global availability has been something the brand has struggled with. Carrier partnerships have been short-lived or non-existent for long periods. If you want to break into the US market as a complete unknown, you still need direct cooperation with the major telecom carriers. T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T still account for over 90% of all sales through postpaid contracts and financing plans. Yes, OnePlus had a brief foothold thanks to a partnership with T-Mobile, but without an endless marketing war chest and slow growth, that faded and ceased. The US market is, for all intents and purposes, a three-device market. Apple and Samsung duke it out for the premium segment, while Motorola and Google try to pick up the rest of the scraps. OnePlus never even broke 1% market share across the entire planet, despite being a bit of an Android darling and arguably getting many more column inches than similar OEMs with a larger user base. OnePlus had lightning in a bottle at the start of the smartphone era, offering cheap, high-power phones that were different from the competition proved to be a masterstroke. However, that first-mover advantage was lost within just a few years. The idea of a flagship killer became almost redundant by virtue of other brands simply adopting a similar strategy. So what can OnePlus do to turn it around? Well, for starters, they need to focus on the average buyer, not just the enthusiast market. They need to make their phones more widely available, and they need to start competing with the big boys, Apple and Samsung. They also need to innovate, not just in terms of specs, but in terms of design and features. They need to make their phones stand out from the crowd. So, in conclusion, OnePlus has had a tough time lately, but with the right strategy, they can turn it around. They just need to focus on the right market and start innovating again. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more tech content. In our next video, we'll be discussing the latest rumors and leaks surrounding the new OnePlus device, so be sure to check that out. The design and build of the new OnePlus device are expected to be top-notch, with a sleek and premium feel. The specs and performance are also expected to be impressive, with a powerful processor and plenty of storage. The new features of the device are expected to include a high-quality camera and a long-lasting battery. The rumors and leaks surrounding the device have been plentiful, with many expecting it to be released soon. The expected release date and price of the device are still unknown, but we'll be sure to keep you updated. In our verdict, the new OnePlus device has the potential to be a game-changer, but it needs to be priced correctly and marketed well in order to compete with the big boys. So, that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more tech content, and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with the latest news and rumors.